Hey! How's everyone doing? Elvis X here, welcoming you back to Dubster, the series where we break down a show's English dub, or sometimes even audiobooks and everything. Like, we've covered it all at this point. And give our thoughts on it. Hope y'all will join me in looking at what is probably one of my favorite over-the-top silly animes, Kakegurui. Which, yeah, we're not looking at the Netflix dub, that's probably more well-known. No, I want to take a look at something a little more out there. The Sentai Filmworks dub. So, I guess now it's time to go over a little history. First, for those who aren't familiar with Kakegurui, it is a manga that also translates to Compulsive Gambler, written by Homuro Kawamoto, and illustrated by Nomura. No, not that Nomura. How I probably butchered that pronunciation. Anyway, it came out in 2014, and to this day is still ongoing. And is published by Square Enix, being as how this series has copious amounts of ecchi content and very sexy ladies. I can only assume that this manga is about to get hit really hard by Square Enix's ethics department. Anyway, the anime would air by Studio Mappa in 2017. Mappa being obviously most known for Jujutsu Kaisen, which I did see the JJK Zero film, and I do recommend it if you have a chance to see it. It's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. As well as the upcoming Chainsaw Man. Anyway, Netflix would obviously get the rights and produce their own English dub for it out of Bang Zoom. Unfortunately, though, when Sentai Filmworks would license the show a few years later, in 2021, it was revealed that they were unable to secure the rights for the English dub. Thus, Sentai would have to dub it themselves in-house, giving it their own cast, as well as a brand new code of dubbing, or whatever you want to call it. With it being released in December, November, around that area, of last year, 2021. And yeah, strictly we're going to be talking about Season 1's dub from Sentai this go-around. For Kakegurui did get a Season 2 called Double X. But I would rather cover that in its own video at a later point. This isn't going to be a simple dub versus dub video either, because I haven't seen the Netflix dub since it first aired in 2017. So I did skim it before doing this vid, just certain moments, like randomly landing on certain scenes, and also looking at the freak-out moments for some of the characters going over the top to get a feel for it. So, yeah. I'll try not comparing it to the Netflix dub, because I want to see if this dub can stand on its own. You know, if you bought this Blu-ray without knowing it was dubbed on Netflix, what would be the experience? Would it be good, or is this dub one that shouldn't have happened? You know, that type of deal. Anyway, now that we're all caught up to date, let's see how Kakegurui handles itself and what it's all about. So the plot of the show is at Hyakao Private Academy, a school where only gambling resides, basically. Your grades, they don't mean shit. All that matters is how much money you can make from gambling. For the student council presides over all. They could dictate your entire life. If you go deep enough into debt, they can even make a life plan for you. Basically decide for you who you're going to marry, and what job you'll end up in, etc., etc., etc. And you're labeled a house pet by everyone else in the school if you get this deep in debt as well. Meaning you're not even viewed as human anymore by these people. Yeah, it's kind of screwed up. Enter our main female, Yumeko Jabami. Yumeko, it's pronounced both ways, across both dubs too, from what I could tell, so yeah, tomato on this one. Either way, she's a new transfer student, and she just loves gambling. She doesn't give a damn about the money. She gets in the hole, just laughs it off. Like, seriously, she does not care. In fact, she even gets off on it. There are moments where she has to act like she's basically climaxing just from gambling alone. So, yeah. She ends up running into our main man, Ryota Suzui, who is, I guess, the pseudo stand-in for the audience proxy. he's the everyman that you're supposed to identify with. He doesn't have much of a personality, to be fair, but ends up taking liking to Yumeko because she saves him from being a house pet. So, yeah, he's like, oh, I want to be around her. She seems really interesting, and she saved me, so, you know, she's my friend. And, yeah, Yumeko then goes on the warpath, challenging everyone she can to gambling because, again, she loves it so much, including eventually picking fights with the student council simply because she can, thus disrupting order for everyone in the school. And that's the basic premise. Again, I actually really like this series. I think it's a lot of fun. It's over-the-top silly and the fun way. Because, yeah, there are moments where it takes itself so damn seriously, and it's kind of great. Especially the games that they have to gamble in. Sometimes it's almost stuff like poker, concentration. Other times, though, it's really over-the-top games where the loser could potentially get shot. It's really dumb, but it's fun. And they oftentimes have to outthink each other, the players of the game. So there's a lot of strategy involved, too. Even if sometimes the strategy's like, that is really convoluted and stupid, but it's amazing. So, yeah. Anyway, as far as the animation goes, I don't need to say anything on this one. It's Studio Mappa, and yeah, you all already know. OST, though, I actually really like it. It's got the typical, you know, some of the songs are the casino vibe, some of them are the upper class vibe, etc., with the ritzy school that they're in, so on and so forth. My favorite theme in particular, though, being Midari's theme, which we'll get to her in a bit, but it's a theme played on a Spanish guitar, and if anyone remembers from the Bleach retrospective when we got to the Arrancar arc, I love that shit. So, same with Black Lagoon with Roberta's theme as well. But yeah, so OST gets a pass from me. Now, let's get to the reason this is called Dubster Dive and the most interesting aspect about this, the Sentai dub in general. So, first, the ADR director was John Swayze. He was also helping with the script writing, as well as Blake Jackson, who also worked on the script. You know, the one who I somehow fucked up on saying he was not Shun in Saint Seiya, but he was. It's a whole thing. Again, I was an idiot. But yeah. And overall, I have to say I actually do like the script for this. There is a lot of swearing in it, which makes sense because of the setting they're in. I know I've said before that having copious amounts of swearing in your script doesn't make it cleverly written, it just makes it edgy and needlessly. But in this particular setting, with the characters they gave it to, you know, that are basically like, swearing a lot, it makes sense and works. Remember, this is a school of assholes that are all trying to screw each other over. Naturally, you're going to get people who, when they lose or get screwed over themselves, they're going to get pissy. So, I'm all for it. Having more swearing in this setting actually works. Just as long as it's not fuck every other word, which it's not. Again, they're swearing, but yeah. Speaking of which, they do actually say fuck in this dub. Kind of surprising me, being as how this is a TV-14 rated series. Don't think you're allowed to say that in those. Yeah, even the Blu-ray's TV-14 from Sentai. I think someone might have screwed up there. Anyway, though, yeah. There's other things with the script, but I'll get to that in a little bit. First, we have our main female, Yumeko Jabami, played by Estelle Link. I have no idea who this person is. And if that's how you pronounce your name... Weird. Nah, not the weirdest name I've seen, to be fair, but... This is honestly, from what I could look up, her first role. At the very least, her first major role. I couldn't find any other thing she's done before, period. And... I'm gonna be real with you guys, it shows. She's not the worst voice actor I've heard, not even close, especially today, where everyone's just given up on even trying. But you can tell that this role at points is a bit much for her. I think if she had gotten a little more experience first, maybe. But Yumeko is such an over-the-top character where, you know, there are scenes where she, again, climaxes from the thought of gambling, or when she thinks she's going to lose a game and has to put everything on the line, she gets off on it. And Estelle tries, like, there's effort put there, but she doesn't quite nail it, in my opinion. I think, she probably would have been fine as one of the other side characters, maybe, but not as our leading lady here. So, yeah. Not bad, just not great either. But hey, at least she's trying, right? So, there's that. This is one, though, where maybe in Season 2 she'll be better, I don't know. For now, yeah. After her, we have Ryota Suzui, our main man, voiced by Adam Gibbs, who we've covered here before. Ecchi from Saint Seiya, which, yes, I saw that Saint Seiya The Last Canvas is leaving Netflix, meaning Netflix is literally losing everything Saint Seiya but the shitty reboot. Ah, shit, I just realized if they start losing that, I'm gonna have to expedite me covering that. Anyway, also Tomozaki and bottom-tier character Tomozaki-kun, which was an alright anime. Anyway, and Adam Gibbs does really good here. Again, Suzui, he's very generic, basic bitch pro-tycoon, so there are moments where his personality shines through and he actually has to stand up for himself, and Adam Gibbs runs with it. Again, he usually does good work. He's known as one of Sentai's better voice actors. After him, though, we get to Best Girl. I mean, Mary. Mary is, I guess you could say, Yumiko's rival best frenemy. She is someone who basically wants to get out of debt in the first couple of episodes because she got screwed over. Again, this happens in the first episode. She loses to Yumiko and, yeah, gets put horribly in debt. So, seeing her relationship with Yumiko unfold as the series goes on, where they go from hating each other to, well, Mary's the one that does the hating, but actually ending up becoming her friend by the end of it is really great. And Mary is also incredibly prone to getting pissed off and angry because she thinks the school system itself is royally fucked. That the student council running everything and basically saying that if you're in debt, you're a house pet that's treated like garbage. She thinks it's wrong and cruel, etc. So, yeah. And she doesn't want a life plan for herself or anything. She's like, fuck this, blah, blah. Anyway, so who did they get to voice the pseudo-tsundere of the show? Christina Kelly. Which, Christina Kelly is another one that we've covered here before. Coco from Golden Time. Fuck that show. Alice from Food Wars. And Best Girl Mon from Akame ga Kill. A show that should probably get a remake FMA Brotherhood style at some point. Anyway. And Christina Kelly knocks it out of the park. Again, you can tell that she is loving this role and thriving off of it. She's easily one of the MVPs of this dub, hands down. In fact, I said I wasn't going to compare the two, but this is one instance where I'll make an exception. I actually prefer her portrayal as Mary over Kira Buckland's from the Netflix dub. There could be numerous factors in that. Like, again, the script on Sentai feels more freeform since they're able to get away with a little more swearing. And Mary swearing more when she's pissed off actually makes more sense and drives it home that much deeper when she's angry about something. I don't know, at least to me. Kira Buckland's take on Mary is more subdued, and there are scenes when she's pissed, and Kira's take is Mary is frustrated, whereas Christina's take is pissed off. I guess it all depends on preference at the end of the day, but I feel Christina Kelly brings more emotion to the table on this role in particular. So, yeah. Anyway, after that, we move on to some of the student council members. So first, we have Itsuki, who is, yeah. Her father runs a toy company, so she likes rigging games in order to collect people's fingernails. She's kind of a freak. Anyway, she's voiced by Kat Thomas, who you'd all probably know as Nanao from Ahiru no Sora. Gotta learn to talk. Nozomi from the Shenmue anime, wonder if that's any good. I haven't been watching it, to be fair. And, yeah, I think she does alright as Itsuki. Some of her line delivery is very mixed. There are some lines that probably could have been delivered a little better, but for the most part, she's alright. Itsuki's one of those characters that fucks off after, like, episode 2 or 3 and doesn't show up again until near the end, so... Again, not much to really say. Next, though, I do have a lot to talk about. Midari. Oh, people who've seen Midari know what I'm talking about. So, Midari is a character who gets off on risking her life. In order to climax when she's getting it on with herself, she puts a gun to her head with one bullet in the chamber and pulls the trigger in the hopes that you get the idea. It brings a whole new definition to the term Daredevil. In fact, gotta give credit to the voice actresses here. Anyone in this role, you have to literally sound like you're finishing, shall we say, every time she's putting her life at stake. So, yeah. And who do they get to play this psycho bitch? Natalie Rial, who, yeah, pretty sure is related to Monica, but that's not important here. Important thing is she's known for voicing Kokoro in Bang Dream. For some reason, Sentai only dubbed Season 2 of that, and not 1 and 3? That makes no fucking sense. And Hina in My Teen Romantic Comedy, which I've heard really good things about. Probably gonna watch that at some point, because I want to start covering more Sentai shit. And Natalie Rial knocks this role out of the park. Again, someone's probably going to bring up the Netflix dub, and remember, guys, trying to just stick to Sentai if I can, for the most part. But as far as the Sentai dub goes, I think Natalie Rial does a really good job. She brings the craziness that is required for this role, and she's really convincing during some of those scenes, I'm just saying. So, yeah, she's another one I feel is pseudo-MVP for this dub in the episode she is in. You could tell this bitch is batshit insane. After her, we have Sayaka, who is another member of the Student Council and basically a simp for the Student Council president. Like, when the Student Council president's like, do my hair, Sayaka will do it. And, yeah, in this dub, she's voiced by Melissa Milano, who we've covered here before, as Nana in Golden Time, and Ilya from Trinity 7. You people need to watch that show. Get cultured. Especially if you like anime titties. Actually, I just realized Sentai never dubbed the film for that series. The fuck, Sentai? That show needs season 2. Anyway. And this is one where she does okay. Again, Sayaka doesn't get a lot of her more character-centric moments until season 2. So, she's here mainly as, like, a dealer in a couple of games and just to comment on what the president is currently doing. That's basically it. So I can't really comment too much until I watch Kakegurui XX from Sentai. But for now, she's just okay. And yes, I know someone's going to bring up it's Erica Lenbeck in the Netflix dub. Again, I said earlier, you already know. But yeah. Moving on from her, we have Kaede. Another member of the Student Council who's the accountant. And it's a dude with that name. Yeah, I know, after Tiger and Bunny and Onimusha, I'm not used to it either. It still throws me off. But that's because I'm a dick. And Kaede's whole personality is he wants to be a leader. He feels like he is a born leader, is driven, will always take the high road to get what he wants. I can respect that in a man. He knows what he wants. He's driven. Anyway, he's voiced by Scott Gibbs, who you'd all probably know as Sora from No Game No Life, and David from Chaika the Coffin Princess. That's a very mundane name for an anime character. No offense to the Daves out there. Nah, but Scott Gibbs is really good as Kaede. And hey, this one didn't break his NDA voicing him. But yeah. I think he's another one that could be considered an MVP of this dub. He's really fucking good in this role. You could tell he's having a lot of fun thriving off the over-seriousness of this character, shall we say. And he loves talking down to people when he gets, you know, a little pissed off and frustrated at the situation. After him, we have Runa. Runa is another member of the student council, and I guess she's the pseudo-lolly of the student council and oversees everything. So, like, if someone comes up with a life plan, she's the one who hands it out, I suppose. She's more of a background member, though. Constantly, you could tell she's planning something and has something up her sleeve, etc. the whole time. More of the spectator. And she's also someone who loves having fun and just enjoying life. She's playing games a lot of the time when you see her, you know, Vidjma games. As well as just reacting to everything in an over-the-top fashion when there's a gambling game going on. Anyway, Runa is voiced by Brittany Karbowski, who you'd all probably know as Melita Angel from Assassin's Pride, emphasis on IS. And she's also Pride from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Please keep the live-action movies away. And Brittany Karbowski, because it's a Sentai dub, of course she'd be here, but she does good work, so I'm not complaining. She's good as Runa. Again, she's always typecasted as a character like this, so you know what to expect. After her, we have another best girl. We have Yumemi, who's an idol. And, yeah. Her dream is she wants to win an Academy Award, which is kind of ironic, because if memory serves, didn't her voice actor Maggie Fleckno already get an award at some point? Pretty sure she did. Someone will correct me on that. Anyway, Yumemi's whole thing is, you find out real quick, she does not give a shit about her fans, and she's very fake, basically, to her fans' faces. She's only doing it in order to progress her career. Kind of ironic, with a lot of celebs and everything going on now. But anyways, Yumemi does have a decent character arc as well. But yeah. Maggie Fleckno, who you'd all probably know as Takagi from High School of the Dead. She's also Marielle, if that is how you pronounce that, in Log Horizon. Which, I need to watch that. But, yeah. She does an amazing job. Again, Maggie Fleckno is considered one of Sentai's best, hands down. And there's no exception here. She is great as Yumemi, especially when Yumemi has a nervous breakdown and gets pissed off about her fans. Basically saying how she can't stand them, that they're all piles of dicks, etc. So, great job, Maggie Fleckno. After her, we have Kirari Momobami and Ririka Momobami, the president and vice president of the student council. Both voiced by Olivia Swayze, who you'd all probably know as Monica from Ahiru no Sora. Why am I having so much trouble pronouncing that today? Hitomi from Babylon, or Babylon, and Midori from Bloom U, which I think she does really good as president. Student council president or vice president is a filter on, so it wouldn't have mattered who voiced that character, to be fair. But as far as the president, she does hold her own, I'd say, and does a good job commanding a presence when she's around. When she's talking and giving a speech or whatever, she does have enough charisma to carry it, I feel. So, yeah. Gotta give props to her on that one. Especially when, in the Netflix dub, a lot of people are probably going to compare her to Michelle Ruff, and I mean, like I said, she holds her own. I'm trying to pretend the Netflix dub doesn't exist, which is difficult even for me, as you all noticed. That's basically all the mains for Season 1. Other Sentai regulars do appear in this dub. Andrew Love, for example, Hilary Hag, and so on and so forth. But as far as any thing else about the dub, I think it's solid. I do obviously have problems with it. Yumiko's voice actor being one of them. Again, I feel like she would have done better as a different character, or maybe if she had more experience and time before this. There is other changes I noticed in the dub compared to Netflix when I was doing skimming. For example, there's a scene where Runa is talking to Mary about Mary's life plan, Mary getting pissed off, etc. And in the Netflix dub, Runa says, "You're going to be married to a filthy lolicon." Whereas in the Sentai dub, Runa says, "You're going to be married to a filthy pervert." I imagine a lot of people are going to prefer the Sentai dub on this one, and yeah. But aside from that, there's other weird references, like YourTube is a thing instead of YouTube. Obviously, both dubs have non-dub singing. I was hoping maybe Sentai would have been the chosen ones. How dare you! But yeah, some of the other quirks that I thought were pretty funny. Yumemi is a song named I'll Blackjack You. I get the gambling pun, but I'm sorry, I'm just gonna think of someone getting BBC trained. Alright? That's all I'm saying. Also, Yumemi wanting to form a duo with Yumiko called the Dream Cream Sisters. Can someone please tell me if that was in the Netflix dub, because that sounds hilarious. But yeah, she says it's because Yume means dream, and both of them have Yume in their name. That's why she came up with the name, but still. Also in the Sentai dub, I noticed dude and ditto are terms that are used a lot. I don't remember those being in the Netflix dub. Again, only skimmed, and it has been a bit. But still a thing that makes it feel a little more natural, since these are, after all, they're in a school setting, etc. And it makes sense. As far as any other quirks, I guess Yumeko is sometimes called Yumiko, also called Yumeko. Like, they cannot stick to pronunciation at all to save their lives on this one. There's occasionally times when instead of saying Jabami, it sounds like they're saying Chabami with a CH, but again, that could just be sounding way too close. They are similar sound, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, though, yeah, I just think this is a really alright dub. Despite my misgivings towards some of the cast choices or towards some of the performances sounding a little off here and there, I could still tell one thing about it. Everyone was having fun. And at the end of the day, as I've stated before with Rio Rainbow Gate, this dub might not win any awards, but that's what matters most, is that you can get absorbed into the story and let the voice acting carry it. Whether it's silly or whether it's, you know... Yeah. As long as you could tell everyone involved is having fun and putting passion into it, you can overlook some of the stupidity and problems with the dub. That's how I feel, at least. And especially in 2022, when that seems to be a rarity with dubs nowadays, I'll take what I can get at this point. Anyways, as far as Kakegurui itself, still more to cover at some point. Season 2 from Sentai, which I don't know when I'll get to that. I also need to cover the Netflix dubs in their own separate video. Again, don't know when I'll get to that. I sat through the Sentai dub of Season 1 twice, so I kind of want to take a break from sitting through Season 1 again if I can. But I am hyped for Kakegurui, there we go. Twin, the spin-off series coming to Netflix later this year. I just hope the dub is alright. And I guess that's it, really. MVPs of the dub, Christina Kelly is Mary, as I mentioned earlier. I think Maggie Fleckno's Yumemi was pretty solid as well. I kind of can't wait to get to XX to see how she carries the character farther. Same with Natalie Rial as Midari. And who knows, maybe Estelle Link will surprise me as Yumiko in Season 2. Again, you could tell everyone was getting better as they went on as well. By the end of it, Estelle Link seemed like she was getting better as Yumiko. I just still think it was miscasting. But maybe you'll disagree with me. Let me know down below. And I guess that's it, really. So at the end of the day, if there was no Netflix dub, could you get this dub and still have fun with it? Because I know a lot of people are attached to the Netflix dub that I've seen online. I think you genuinely would still be happy with it. In fact, I don't think this dub is unnecessary. Some people saw it that way, saying there's no need for this, but I disagree for a couple of reasons. One, it gives more competition in a sense, if you think about it. we need more dubs to exist in order for there to be competition, especially in this day and age when that seems to be harder to come by with the whole monopolization thing. But also, it gives an excuse or a reason to watch the show again and maybe see it in a new light. You know? Hearing the Sentai voice actors give different takes to these characters, it's kind of cool. I actually am a huge sucker for that sort of shit, you know, if there's multiple dubs. I like watching them and seeing, oh, well, how does this voice actor see this character being perceived? Like, how would they take them, etc., etc. So I'm happy for it. It's why, at one point, I do hope that Sentai will get the rights to other Netflix shows and dub them, because they have Hero Mask and Baki and other stuff too, but you know what I mean. But the one downside is that I wish the Netflix dub was also on physical media. You know, in fact, Kakegurui did come out over in the UK, and they actually gave it a bitchin' limited edition. What the hell, Sentai? Why don't you give us that over here? And I was hoping the UK maybe would have had the Netflix dub, but no, it's still the Sentai dub. So, oh well, it is what it is, I suppose. Still an enjoyable run through, though. For those who've seen the Netflix dub and are wondering, like, maybe you're still on the fence, I'd still say check out the Sentai dub. Unfortunately, the only way to watch it as of the recording of this is on Blu-ray. It is not up on High Dive because Netflix own the exclusive streaming rights to it currently. I imagine when Netflix lets it go in 5 years or something, it might go up on High Dive then, but it'll just be the Sentai dub, and the Netflix dub will be inevitably lost to time, which will kind of suck. We need to preserve history, yo! So, at the end of the day, what have we learned here? That Sentai still have fun with dubbing their shit. Expect more Sentai coverage to come in the future. As far as what's next, not sure yet, but it'll be something. Thank you all so much for watching, and let me know who your pick for Best Waifu is down in the comments. As far as Best Husbando, if you're into that sort of thing, I mean, I'm gonna guess it's probably Kaede for you people. I don't know, I just do not see many people being into Suzui. Which, by the way, got a little bit of a nitpick with you, Yemiko. I called it out on purpose. So, she wants to call everyone her first name basis when they become friends, right? Like, for Mary, Saltome, she calls her Saltome in the beginning, and then it's like, hey, we're friends, can I call you your first name Mary? Does that with Itsuki as well. The only one she doesn't do that with is Suzui. She keeps calling him that throughout the whole series. His first name's Ryota. Even though she says that he's her friend. It's because, man, that's you bias bit. Nah, I'm just joking, but it's still something that made me think for a second. That's it, though. Love Kakegurui, and if you haven't seen it yet and don't know which dub to go to, either one is good. I can tell you that. You won't go wrong with either one of them, so pick whichever one you want, and yeah. And I now have a new appreciation for this show, thanks to Sentai. That's why I said, if anyone's only seen the Netflix dub, check out the Sentai dub, and, you know, be curious to hear which takes of characters you like more, etc., etc. Thanks again for watching, guys. Really appreciate it, and I hope you all have yourselves a fantastic day, and I will talk to you all next time. And again, Mary is best girl. Fight me! Till then, guys.